Hey everyone, it's Curly, and today we're going to be playing Cardfight Vanguard Dear Days, the most anticipated Cardfight Vanguard product to be released this year, as well as probably the most controversial. But we're going to forget all about that for now and just try and play the game and enjoy it. We're going to go ahead and start a new file, not that I've did anything in the previous one. And we're going to start here at Omni Academy. We have ourselves here this boy student who needs help from Ichidoji. Is having trouble with a problem here. Sure, this one, well, for this part you have to do x plus y squared times 7 or something. Yuki, please help us out. Could you help us at the basketball tournament coming up? Sure, you can count on me. I'll fucking dunk on everyone. This is Yuki Ichidoji, who is a second-year high school student at Omni Academy. She is a strong-willed and honest girl, excels in both academics and athletics. So she can ball and she can score 100 billion on her midterms. You sure about that, Yuki? It seems like our next opponent is a real powerhouse. Not a problem, because no lose intended. So there's a demo for this game that came out, I think, 2 weeks prior to its release, and I didn't really play it. I played a little bit of it, but once I got up to the first fight, I couldn't proceed any further because I was playing it on the Steam Deck, and it didn't have any like Steam Deck compatibility because all the cards were invisible. I don't know if that's still the case for the full release. I will maybe add a comment in like the pinned comment in this video just to let anyone know, or maybe I showed it up on screen if I do it before I edit this. But in any case, they kept this from the demo, which is Yuki's like catchphrase, which is no lose intended. I don't really know what that means. It's not very good English grammatically. So I'm assuming that it translates to something really cool, or it was something really cool in Japanese, and they sort of translated it / localized it to be no lose intended. Or rather, I guess they translated it but didn't really localize it to like have better grammar, or maybe that's part of the translation, I don't know. Point is, it sounds weird. I'm not sure if I'm about it, but hey, that's Yuki's catchphrase, no lose intended. She's really amazing. She gets good grades and she's super athletic. Plus, on top of everything, she's a student council president. So she is like the epitome of a Mary Sue, because she is just the biggity bombastic. And she's also going to be a good card fighter, because she's the main character of Dear Days. And it being a card fighting game, you know she's going to card fight. And since I'm controlling her, Curly, the best card fighter in all of the world, she will automatically get my skills and be the best card fighter in Dear Days. But anyways, that's not why this boy student is here. He's actually letting us know about our little brother, who's 2 years younger than us. His name is Rasen, and he's getting his ass beat on the roof of the middle school. So that's not good. Let's go save our little bro. You know, I do kind of understand the other kid's point. I don't know what she's talking about. I kind of picture her, because she kind of shows up and stops the bullying from happening, and they're on the roof, so I don't know if she like just shows up, grabs the middle school student, and just like chucks him off the roof, and it's like, alright. Anyways, I guess I kind of understand what he was saying about you being a jerk, but you realize this part is on you as well, right? Yeah. This is Rasen Ichidoji here, who is a third-year middle school student at Omni Academy. He has a mild-mannered personality and is the polar opposite of his sister. Nonetheless, he awakened his unbreakable spirit. He possesses an unbreakable spirit and gradually awakens to his hidden talent for Vanguard. So, like, I guess he can't ball, he gets bad grades, he's whatever the opposite of the student council president is. He's like the... I don't really know what the opposite is. But he doesn't want to stand out like his sister. That's why people pick on y'all. If you have one shot in life, so make sure you don't regret it, or you're gonna let yourself stay on this losing streak. What losing streak? But I just pray that you're not making mom pray for you up in heaven. So apparently her mom is dead. That's a bummer. Come on. Don't break up my dead mom now. Haha, just messing you about your dead mom. Lols. Let's pick up dinner tonight and head home. Actually, sorry sis, but could you sub in for dinner duty tonight? Again? Why is there somewhere I have to be? Huh. It's been like this every day for a whole while now, you know? You're getting home late too. What exactly are you doing? Don't worry about it. Just me and the boys, we'll be doing some stuff together. None of your businesses. Why are you blushing though? I see what it is. It's alright, I can respect the young man's privacy. What am I gonna do with you? Sorry, Yuki. I'll be back later. You know, I said I was gonna respect his privacy, but as a big sister, I can't help but wonder. A card store, huh? Olsen. Got ourselves Verena Especta and Verena Jaeger and Verena Seraph Snow in the back over there. As well as Magnolia Elder and Bruce. Ironically, no Verena grade 4, or sorry, Verena grade 4, or Mahar Nirvana, because I got the other grade 4 units over there. But anyways, excuse me. Bit rude to not say anything, but whatever. Is this a card shop? Yuki? Huh? Well, so, where your girl at? Did she leave already? My what? Yuki, I play Cardfight. What makes you think I have a girl? I don't have anyone like that. You don't? So you're obsessed to the point of skipping dinner duty with a card game? I don't really know what dinner duty is. I understand that they're brother and sister. I assume they live together. And I assume since their mother passed away, they live with their father, or he just doesn't exist, and like Yuki does everything. She somehow pays for their bills or something like that. So is dinner duty just the act of them eating dinner, or is it like them going out and making, like getting food and then coming home and making dinner since, you know, they don't have like a dad or anything like that? Is that what I'm getting at? Or is that what they're getting at? I don't know. Card game? Yeah, it's called Vanguard. Vanguard. It's one word, not two. Vanguard. Whatever. This is why you've been sneaking around, huh? You got my hopes up and everything. I was hoping my little middle school brother was getting laid, but I guess not. What do you mean? Never mind. Anyway, I'm going home. Try not to have too much fun. Yuki, Vanguard is more than just a game. It's serious business. Card game is exactly what it looks like to me. I don't know how to put this exactly. It's like it lets me unlock a new side of myself. It does? These cards do? That's how it feels anyway. I'm gonna go home. Welcome! Oh, could you be Yuki? Oh my bad, I'm the owner and manager here. Gosetsu Katsushika, this is the name. He's the owner of the card shop Olsen. Thanks to his caring spirit and love for Vanguard, this store has achieved widespread popularity. Long ago, he led the largest team in the region. Wish that were me. I've heard all about you from Rawson. He's always talking about how he has a perfect big sister, one with strong will and big mouth. Sen, beat your damn ass telling this man I got a big mouth. What are people gonna think about that? Remember who it was that rescued you from getting bullied today? You. I can't believe you. Oh, don't be too tough on him. Hey, a great idea just hit me. I know what'll turn that frown upside down, a bit of Vanguard. What? You want me to play Vanguard? Considering how you're perfect and capable of anything, I can't wait to see how you'd fight. I don't even know the rules though, I'd rather not a problem. I'll teach you everything as you fight, and you might even understand what Hasan meant if you do. Okay then, I'll give it a try. Here you go, you can borrow this deck. Never imagined I'd be fighting Sis. Hasan. Yes, show her what you meant. Don't worry, I know you'll be able to do it. Sure. Okay. So originally I was gonna skip this, but at first I think we'll go through it, and oh, I skipped it. I wanted to go through it and show everyone how to play Vanguard, but whoopsie. Here we go, we've got ourselves a tutorial fight that I actually skipped on. So Vanguard is a one-on-one card game. We are the Vanguards who lead beings called units such as monsters and knights. Let me show you the zones where you place your cards. The zone you place your cards are the field, the center circle is for the Vanguard, the surrounding circles here are for your rear guards. Here is the Guardian Circle. We've got the damage zone here. Whenever you take damage, put a card here, and if you reach 6 damage, you lose the fight. So if your opponent reaches 6 damage, you win the fight. You got your deck here, as well as your ride deck. Contains cards from grades 0 through 3. We'll talk about grades later. Got the trigger zone up here. Your Vanguard has the ability where they can either drive check or damage check, and it lets you reveal the top part of your deck. You can place it here. And finally, we got the drop zone, where cards, if they're used, discarded, retired, etc., are placed here. Then let's take a look at the cards here. Each card has an attack value or a power. They also have a shield value that you use for guarding. They have a grade, which they say determines the strength and abilities of that card. The higher it is, usually the better it is. Then this is the critical. This is how much damage is dealt to your opposing Vanguard when you do battle with this unit. In the Vanguard, you can only do damage by attacking the Vanguard. We got the name as well as the ability for the card, which is written here. We can press Y to see a bigger image and see the text in bigger. It makes things a little clearer. So first, we want to place our grade 0 from our ride deck in the Vanguard circle, face down, and then we choose who goes first by throwing rock, paper, scissors. Paper for the win. Let's go. So we're going to be going first. Usually they do the other way around for tutorial fights, but hey, that's fine. I'm going to draw 5 cards here. Your hand is not shown to your opponent at any time. And at the start of the match, you can return cards from your hand and redraw them. Then we have units, which are trigger units. They're a subtype of unit. They have this this trigger icon. This one happens to be for criticals. In the top right corner. We'll talk about those later, but for now, what we'll do is we'll grab these 3 triggers. I would personally maybe grab more cards, but we're going to put those 3 on the bottom of our deck, draw the same number of cards that we put on the bottom of our deck, and then shuffle our deck. There we go. Now we're ready to start. We flip up our Vanguard, and we say, stand up, Vanguard! We'll start first. There's 6 phases. You really only need to pay attention to the last 3 because the first 3 kind of go by really quickly. Stand phase, you just stand up all of your cards. Draw phase, you draw all of your cards for that turn, which is just the 1 card. I don't know where I said cards plural. Then the ride phase, you can ride a unit with the same or greater grade as your Vanguard. And if you do it from the ride deck, you can discard a card from your hand to choose one and ride it, or you can just ride it straight from your hand. But let's use the ride deck here. So we're going to ride this card, and he wants us to discard this guy in order to ride, I forgot her name. Then we go to the main phase. We can go ahead and call out units here. You can call out as many units per turn as long as they have the same or less grade as your Vanguard. And you can call them out to the rear guard circles here, but they want us to place this one out behind the Vanguard. And then we can go on to the next phase here, which is the battle phase, which lets us do battle. But since we're going first, we actually can't do that. So we're just going to pass our turn here. And then they're going to go ahead and stand and draw, discard in order to ride their Platinum Wolf. And then for basic skill, which is their starter, the grade 0, it says if you ride over this card, while going second, you get to draw a card. So they get to draw. Then he'll go main phase, call his own grade 1 behind his Vanguard, and then attack. And since the grade 1 behind it has a skill called Boost, you can actually pass its power onto the Vanguard, and they can kind of combine their attack power. Also, you can only deal damage when attacking the Vanguard. If you attack any other unit that is not the Vanguard, then you will retire it instead, but you won't inflict any damage to your opponent. So he's going to go ahead and attack and boost, combining his Lisana and his Platinum Wolf to give him a power of 16. So you attack by tapping cards or resting them is what it's called in this game, or putting in defense mode, if you want to compare it to Yu-Gi-Oh, however you want to do it, but you just turn cards sideways. And that's how you declare attack. So, their attack points here combine, or their power I should say. And their power is equal then or greater to ours, in this case greater, so the attack will go through unless I guard it. But in this case, they're going to, I believe, force me to take the attack. And we're just going to go ahead and no guard here. We can guard using cards from our hand, but we won't. So then their Vanguard can now do a drive check, where they reveal the top card of their deck. And if they see a trigger, they can activate an effect. They do not. So instead, the card just goes to their hand. I will take the damage here, and then my Vanguard performs a damage check equal to the number of criticals that were inflicted. Platinum Wolf only has 1, so I will just take 1 damage, do a damage check, and get a draw trigger here. Since I checked a trigger during my check, then the effect of the trigger goes off. In this case, I can give my power, give my Vanguard 10k power, and also draw 1 card. I guess that's what the draw symbol is supposed to look like. So we draw 1 card and gain 10,000 power. So I give the Vanguard 10,000 power. You will draw 1 card and then put that card in the damage zone. Then they're going to go ahead and end their turn here. We're going to go ahead and stand and draw. We're going to ride this by discarding this trigger. I would have kept it, but okay. And then I can call out units. So let's go ahead and call out Zafar, Drag Rider Zafar, and they want me to call out Elect Bow Dragon here. Let's go to the battle phase here. And let's go ahead and attack with Zafar here. So we just go ahead and select it and attack the Vanguard. Our Vanguard is 10, their Vanguard is 8. So it has more power, so the attack can hit. Opponent chooses not to guard, so they will take the damage. Since I have a rear guard attacking, it doesn't do drive check, but my opponent's Vanguard will do a damage check here, and they will get no trigger, which will then place 1 damage on their side, and then I will boost with my Ankylosaurus, or whatever the heck it's called, for 18k to their Vanguard. They'll choose not to guard here, so since the Vanguard is attacking this time, we'll do a drive check and get a critical trigger. This is a critical, which allows us to do an extra damage to the Vanguard. So, what I can do here is, since the attack is already going through, since my opponent did not guard, we'll give the critical to the Vanguard, so it does an extra damage, and then we'll give the power to my rear guard. So that if my opponent does check a trigger and gives the power to their Vanguard, our Vanguard, or sorry, our rear guard can still hit. So I do a damage check. It is a trigger with no trigger. Did I say a trigger with no unit? It is a unit with no trigger. Then their second check is a draw trigger. So they are going to be able to draw a card and give power to their Vanguard. But our Elect Below Dragon here is actually 20k, so it can swing into their 18k thanks to that critical trigger that we checked. They're going to go ahead and guard with the Owen that they drew from their drive check. And it combines its shield with their Vanguard's attack, which stops my attack because it makes it so that my attack is not equal or greater than the combined power of their shield and their power. Which is that. And then the card that was used to guard goes to the drop zone, and the guard is only for that battle. So, our opponent is going to stand and draw, and they're going to ride their Sterilize Angel. I'm going to call Owen. They're going to attack with Sterilize Angel, boosted by Lisana here. We're going to no guard. I might have guarded this, I'm not sure. Not sure what's in this deck. They're going to get a front trigger, unfortunately, which is the 3rd type of trigger here, which just gives the entire front row 10k. So if you have 3 units, they all get 10k. Gonna take a damage here. Since they only have 2, they'll still take the damage. We're gonna put Eugene here in our damage zone. They're gonna attack Owen with 20k. I don't really have a lot to guard with. Even though I could just guard with this, but okay, Tushora, we'll let this go through. Take the damage here. No trigger. put that in the damage zone. And our opponent will end their turn on that. So we'll stand and draw. Let's go ahead and ride our Tri-Bash here by discarding this ankle thing. She says there's nothing more that we can do here, but we can. Actually, we can play this Tri-Bash here, who has the ability where if your Vanguard attacks, if your opponent has 2 or less rear guard, you can put this into Soul to give your Vanguard plus critical. They only have 2, which is the same as 2 OS. So I could have gotten a critical here and probably won, but whatever. Game wants us to... Whoops, I don't want to check my souls. It should just say soul. I don't know why it says souls. Let's close that. Let's go to the next phase here. And we'll attack with our Electro Dragon this time around. Our powers are the same, so the attack can hit, but they're going to use an Intercept here to block the attack. Intercept is similar to Boost, but is a skill for grade 2 units, where if they're in the front row, you can use them to guard from the field instead of from your hand. Otherwise, cards can only guard from your hand, except for certain situations. So Overton will block the attack here, because they combine they become 15, which is greater than my 10. We'll attack with Tri-Bash here, boosted, which is going to give us a big 21. Opponent's going to do no guard. Since we have a grade 3 unit, we're going to be able to do twin drives. So instead of checking one card for a drive check, we get another check. Got nothing, we just got a Blitz Order. It's his order card. It's not a unit. It's basically the equivalent to like a magic card. I don't want to say trap card, but it's just equivalent to those kinds of cards. They can only be played during the main phase, or Blitz Order can be played during your opponent's battle phase. And they have different types. Set Order stays in your order zone. It has like a continuous effect, so it's like a continuous spell card. Blitz Order is like a quick play spell that you can use. I'm only using Yu-Gi-Oh comparisons because that's really the best way, I guess, to compare it to. Then we got ourselves a critical trigger here. So we'll give the crit to the Vanguard and then 10k to my rear guard that hasn't attacked yet. So my opponent will take here 2 damage. First damage, no trigger. Second check, no trigger. They're actually at 5 damage, so 1 more attack here and we win. Now actually guard, as they should, otherwise they'll be dead. Alright, fair enough. Turn will end here. What a cheeky boy, I'll beat you next turn. What a cheeky boy, actually guarding my attack. So he's going to discard and ride a Fluke as their Vanguard. Then I'm going to call another Olin here and a Ramona. And they attack with Ramona. Seems fine to no guard here. I mean, sure. Whatever you say, Yuki. Got ourselves a draw trigger. Okay, I guess you knew the draw trigger was coming. So you're going to power up the Tri-Bash here. So he gets plus 10 here. We're going to draw 1 card. Then I attack with a Fluke. He's going to be 21. Our power is 23, so the attack won't hit. So we could guard here, but they also have twin drives, so they can easily jump up to 41 if they check 2 triggers. I might lose if you get a critical trigger, but calling in too much means I won't have enough cards to guard with. You can also guard with a Sentinel here, which has the skill that you can discard a card from your hand, depending on how many cards you have in your hand, and you perform a perfect guard. So no matter what the power is of the drive check, or abilities or whatever, the attack will not work. So let's go ahead and guard with this. It probably would have been better to just use the Blitz Order, but it's going to make us discard this trigger, which again we could have used to guard with. We probably should have discarded the grade 2, but whatever. They're going to do a drive check here. They're going to check a heal trigger, which is the well, there's one more type of trigger. This is the 4th type of trigger here, which lets you heal. If you have equal or more damage to your opponent, you can heal 1 damage. So since he has 5, I'm at 4, they're going to heal, and of course, like all the other triggers, it gives power to one of your units. So they give power to Owen here, making him 20. And then you can use his skill here to counterblast 1, which says when you drive check a trigger, you counterblast 1, so you take a card from your damage zone, flip it face down, and this unit gets 10k. So he's going to use that to give himself 10k power. And his next check here is just going to be a perfect guard. We're going to perfectly guard his attack. And he's going to attack with Owen for 30k. So they're going to ask me to intercept. That's not enough. Okay, and then guard with this. Fine, I guess. I feel like he could have just used this, but again. Maybe this has some sort of condition. No, it says if I have 3 or more. Whatever. It's a tutorial that they don't want me to play good, they just want me to play. Oh, that's why they didn't want me to play Tri-Bash. So since I have a card with the same name as my Vanguard and the same grade, I can do a Persona ride here by riding. Oh cool, there's an over animation for it. So I Persona ride, I draw 1 card, and I get the continuous effect. Me as the player, not me, my Vanguard, gets the continuous effect where every front row unit gets 10k power. So let's call out this here, I guess. And call out this on the other side. Then we activate the skill. When this is placed, I can counter blast 1, Soul Blast 1. Soul Blast removes a card from under our Vanguard. And Counter Blast, as we mentioned, is flipping a card into damage. Face down, you can choose whatever you want. Ideally, you want to choose out something that, if it goes to the drop after getting healed, you can make use of it. Oh, it wants me to choose. Okay, whatever. Can't do anything with a trigger, but fine, whatever. Now I can retire. I'll retire this girl, because she has the most power. And let's go ahead and try and end this here. We'll attack with this lady for 20. We'll take no guard. Take 1 damage, putting you at 5. And 1 more to win. We'll attack with Tri-Bash here and swing in for 31,000. Trying to end the game here. We use a perfect guard. Use a skill to discard a front trigger, which you could have used to guard, but okay, whatever. Got ourselves a front trigger, which powers up our front row. So now my whole front row gets plus 10k. Next check, we got another Tri-Bash that I can use for next turn if it even makes it to that long. And then let's go ahead and use Safar, boosted by my rear guard here for a whopping 38. Take that. He's going to guard with 2 heal triggers from his hand. Only 1 card left in my hand now, but the guard was a success, so he barely guarded that. And now they only have 1 card in hand and 1 other rear guard. Cards you draw change the game. That's real thrill and joy of the game. Only 1 card in my hand now. I'm not sure how I can make it here, but nobody knows what happens until the end of the game. That's the exciting part about Vanguard. So they're actually going to be able to Persona right here. They're for a fluke. So they draw another card. They get the Dark Strain Dragon as well as a booster here. Everyone has an additional 10k, and he's going to go in, swing in for game. She's going to no guard for whatever unspeakable reason, even though you could have guarded all of these attacks that are coming up. But fine. Got ourselves a heal trigger. We cannot heal because his damage is more than mine, but we do get to add power to our Vanguard here. So our Vanguard is stronger. They're going to attack with their Vanguard boosted by the Lysiana. He's going to give them 31. So we should guard with this trigger here, which is a, like, what? 1 to pass? Yeah, we're going to do a 1 to pass. Okay, now we're not. Okay, and then we use this Blitz order here. It gives it another 15k. So even if you hit 2 triggers here, you won't be able to break through, but there is a chance that you can break through because there's 1 more type of trigger in this game that is about as controversial as this entire game existing, and that is the over trigger here, which you can only have 1 in your deck, and when it's revealed in damage deck, you draw a card and you give 100 million power to 1 unit. And because of the effect of this specific over trigger, you give 100 million to another unit. So the Vanguard gets 100 million, and then Owen will get 100 million. So you can very easily break through my attack. And I have to hope that I hit a heal trigger here, because if you check a heal trigger. As your 6 damage, you can actually stay in the game. But not this time. We are going to lose. Get ourselves some VP, I guess, from the tutorial. That's kind of cool. So we lost. We lost Rasen here. Might have been a tutorial match, but that was a great fight, you two. No fair, Rasen. I would have won if it wasn't for that over card. Well, sure, but don't laugh at me so hard. Sorry, it's just that every fighter says that when they lose. I couldn't help myself. But you know, the fact that he was able to draw it shows how much he wanted to win. So, how was your first ever fight? I still don't understand what Rasen meant, but I do think I'm starting to get what you mean by being more than a game. Oh, Vault. Looks like I'll expect a great fight tomorrow. Cool. What's going on tomorrow? He's going to be fighting with his friends. Yes, some folks he goes way back with. Power to connect people and create infinite possibilities. It's a unique part of Vanguard that makes it so incredible. Thanks for fighting me, Yuki. Once I go home, I'll make a nice rice curry with caramelized onions. Wow, damn, son. Alright, now I'm all pumped up. Gotta do my best at dinner and tune my deck. Don't push yourself too hard, kid. Oh, I didn't mean like that. It's Vanguard. It feels like it gives me the strength to do my best. Gotcha. Well, see you later. You too, thank you. Alright. What's the matter, Yuki? Gosetsu-san. What other kind of decks do you have? It's funny because in tutorial they give you like this random deck. It's not even like an actual like deck. We're actually gonna get ourselves some cards here, which is interesting that they gave us those cards, because those are specifically for one type of deck. You can technically use it in other decks, but you know. So here's the thing. Once you start up the game, you actually get yourself 3,000 VP. And you can do 2 or 3 different things with this. You can, 1, buy yourself a starter deck here. We have 7 options to choose from. They include the lyrical one, which is pretty cool. The other option you have is you can actually buy yourself 3 of these instead, because they're all at 1,000 VP. And you have 3,000, so you can buy yourself multiple decks, which is pretty cool, so you're not locked into just one. But also, you can buy one of these and then just save your VP for later on, when you can buy cards with VP, because that's kind of the currency that we'll be using in this game. I haven't really decided what I'm going to be using in this game. I wanted to try something different, since I play a lot of these other kinds of decks in the actual TCG. You know, the overdress format is the format that I play the most, pretty much the only format I play. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to grab the Bavsagra deck here. I'm a big fan of Bavsagra, but I don't actually play her in person because I don't know, I'm not too big of a fan of her playstyle, but maybe that'll change here. And we're actually going to pick up the lyrical deck here, or the Kairi deck. Not because I'm a huge fan of Kairi, but I do like a lot of the lyrical cards. But I don't get a chance to play them in person either because I don't have the cards myself, or they're just not that good. So I feel like this is the perfect playing ground for that, and we'll keep the other 1,000, whoops, don't want to do that, to ourselves for next time. Alright, we're going to exit the shop here. So I can go ahead and characters you're familiar with and rivals you've never met. Wait, in the story mode. Okay, whoops. Didn't mean to close that. I'm going to go to the next page. D skill is a special player skill that you get advantages of only in story mode. I have this problem where I'm using a Xbox controller, Xbox 360, or yeah, 360, or no, not 360, but like Xbox X1 or whatever the hell it's called. And B is actually A, so like when they say next page, I press B, and that's not right. And A is actually B, which is like my cancel. So like my confirm is usually what my cancel is, and what my cancel is usually what my confirm is. So like let's press B here, and it actually goes to the next page. But I keep thinking that they actually mean A, but that's just me. So various skills can be unlocked. And you receive the wishes of characters throughout the story. These skills can be set in the menu of the map. Map? I don't know what that means. Was kind of hoping I could read what he was talking about, but oh, maybe I can... Previous tip? Nope. Previous tip? Previous tip? Previous... Hello? Next tip? Previous tip? Next tip? Previous tip? That doesn't make any damn sense. Alright, there we go. Sorry, I had to go back. We did the tutorial fight. I'll splice it in before, where I accidentally skipped it, so it'll be this weird transition where like I skip ahead, but it's been like a couple of minutes since before then. But in any case, that'll do it for today. We'll try and play this as much as possible. I know everyone's sub box is going to be full with Vanguard Dear Days content. I will be trying to cover this game as much as possible, as well as, or rather that consisting of doing a full playthrough, and as well as doing like rank once I get some cards and all that good stuff. I'll even start streaming. I want to start streaming on YouTube, but I have to wait a day to actually be verified to stream on YouTube. So maybe sometime this weekend, definitely next week, we'll start streaming some Dear Days and maybe some Vanguard Zero. I used to stream that a lot on Twitch, but I don't really feel like streaming on Twitch anymore, so we're going to try and stream on YouTube instead. But in any case, hope you guys are enjoying the Dear Days content so far, and if there's anything you'd like to see, please let me know. And until then, take care of yourself, play Vanguard, and have yourself a damn good one.